I'm doing a video if you have a 2014 or 2015 Silverado and you want to upgrade to Apple CarPlay. I'm showing you how I did it. So I just got on eBay the HMI module, the human something interface module, this thing right here. You need to get the 2.5. So what I did is I got on AutoTrader, found a 2016 VIN, an LT model, something that didn't have nav. I really didn't need the nav. And I called the dealer to find out what the upgraded part number was for the HMI module. And I got it, and I got on eBay. It was like 200 bucks. I got it in, and it plugged right in. This is the old module. The one I got's a 2.5. Everything plugged right in. The problem I had, well, after that, I had to upgrade the USB port. So right under here, you basically upgrade this USB port right here. So you lose your SD card in the 14 and the 15, which I didn't care about that anyways. So I, again, got a VIN number with a 16, called the dealer and said, hey, what USB port do I need? And it's this part number right there, 135-19224. They had it in stock. It was a little pricey. It was like 76 bucks, but they're on eBay, for like less than $50. You can find one. I was just impatient and wanted to get it now. So it worked. So I'll show you real quick. So go to the home. There's my Apple CarPlay, if you can see that, which my 15 module didn't have. So I was really stoked to see it work. So I went in here, and sure enough, it worked, except the problem I was having, it's a little glitchy. So like the Bluetooth, when the phone's hooked to Bluetooth, the calls come through and everything's good. But when the phone is hooked to Apple CarPlay or is plugged in, the phone, it'll recognize the phone number, but it won't work. And then when you go to messages, it'll show that I have messages, but it won't read anything. So like if I click here to read that message, nothing happens. So what I found out, or at least what I think I found out, was even though this was the part number for the module, I was able to get on a Bosch website, get in here and kind of decode this. I hit the power, home, and menu button to kind of find out what the coding was. So when I got in here to find the coding, I found out that this actually came out of a 2017. Oh, maybe this wasn't where yeah, actually I need to go to HMI. Somewhere in here I was able to find out, right there, the My 17, I think that's the version. So this came out of a 17 something. It may not have been a Silverado. So what I really need to do is upgrade, or what I'm going to try and do is upgrade the firmware in the HMI module. Now, what I've read online, and one of the main reasons I'm making this video is because I had a hard time finding information. If you go to a GM site and you pay for the TIS2 Web or the SPS programming, don't even bother, because I have access to it. I used to work for GM, and I still am able to get access to the programming software. I, however, don't have a pass-through module. I don't have an MDI module or a J2534, whatever those pass-through modules are called. But I didn't think I needed it, because it said you just need a USB module to upgrade the firmware. And even when I read through the GM protocol and how to upgrade this, it says you just need a USB port. However, when I got into the TIS2 Web, got the SPS programming, it wouldn't let me past needing an MDI module. So it might just need to recognize the software. I couldn't update it. But luckily, I have friends still in the GM realm. I'm going to try and update it. So don't pay for the TIS2 Web. Don't pay for SPS, because unless you have a pass-through module, it is not going to work. However, as long as the phone, the main reason I got it is because I wanted the Apple CarPlay. Now, on the flip side of this, so to continue onwards, so when I got Apple CarPlay, the only thing I had and I'm not sure how much of this you have, but the only thing I had access to was like the navigation, which was really nice, actually. So I have access to the navigation, have access to iHeart and Pandora and things like that. But I wanted more. I wanted, because I've got young kids, I've got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, I wanted the ability to play YouTube videos on there. So when we're driving down the road, I know what you guys are going to say. You shouldn't be watching videos going down the road, but it's for the kids. So I spent hours trying to figure out how to jailbreak the phone. And I didn't want to jailbreak my phone. I wanted to jailbreak some old phone I didn't care about. So if I messed it up, it doesn't matter. So I had an old iPhone 5. And it took hours to figure out how to jailbreak this thing. I think because this was a 32-bit iPhone 5, and most of the stuff that I saw out there was for 64-bit. So I was able to eventually figure something out. I did download some stuff I didn't need to. There were some apps I downloaded that were fictitious, and I found out that they didn't want to delete. So I rebooted the phone. That didn't get rid of them, but I found out how to get rid of them. So if there's some apps that you download that are fictitious and you couldn't get rid of, you just have to go under settings, manage profile, and you can delete them from there. So anyways, I wanted to jailbreak my Apple CarPlay so I could get Safari and YouTube on there, basically, is what I wanted to do. And I finally was able to do it. And I was able to do it by downloading this app here, Apple Valley. That was the app that finally let me do it. If you have questions about that, I can make a video. So basically, from Apple Valley, you have to download this Helix, and you have to make sure it's the 32-bit Helix. That was one of the problems I was having, is I was downloading a 64-bit Helix because I've only got an iPhone 5. But if you have something newer than an iPhone 5, it's going to be 64-bit. And my software is only 10.3. So I was having a hard time with that too. So anyways, this allows you to jailbreak your phone by downloading this app. I was then able to download Cydia. And what Cydia has is the app that's called NGX Play. And NGX Play allowed me to jailbreak Apple CarPlay. And it's actually really neat. So I'll show you real quick. So this is Apple CarPlay. And then, so like when I scroll over to show you what apps I added, I added Google Maps, Disney Junior, Safari, Spectrum, which is our cable provider, and YouTube. So just to back up real quick, this iPhone 5, right now it's on Wi-Fi, but to make it work on the road, I basically turn my iPhone 7 into a hotspot. So that allows this phone to work. So I don't pay for a subscription. I just turn my iPhone 7 into a hotspot, and then this is able to work. So it is a 5. It's a little slow, but I just want to show you real quick so I can get on YouTube, which is really neat. Now, it'll mirror, so I was playing a Disney video. So like just real quick, I'll play the Disney video. I'll blow it up here. And there it is. I am playing YouTube through the mylink system on Apple CarPlay, which is super cool. So the one thing I've noticed was kind of glitchy with it is I can't search. So it's no big deal. You can always search through the phone. No thanks. Hang on here. So the phone is slow, but just to give you an idea, it's mirroring basically the iPhone 5, which is a little slow, but that's okay. I'm not going to pay for a newer phone. I'm pretty cheap. So I'm still waiting for this to work. Hang on, I'll go back into YouTube. It's just a little slow. I'm going to get out of it somehow. I think I hit this button here. Yeah. And then when I hit the search button, it will not let me, it doesn't bring a keyboard up, unfortunately. So not a huge deal. I can just go into the phone here and I'll show you real quick. It'll actually mirror it. So if I go into YouTube, it'll mirror, so I can just type the video in here, like, you know, I type in Mickey Mouse or whatever. Now, again, this is slow. It just takes a minute for it to load, but it's basically waiting for it to... Oh, it's typing. So, like, I don't know, I just typed in something, and it's typing up on the screen. So, you know, and then you just hit search on here, and nothing came up. But it allowed me to search through the phone, even though nothing came up, but I was able to type through the phone. The same problem I was having with Safari. So, like, under Safari, it brings up, it won't bring up a keyboard. unless you guys know how to fix this. But these are my favorites. So like I do a lot of day trading stocks, so I have some favorites on my, so like, you know, you can always store favorites if you wanted to still do that. Or again, it'll mirror the phone. If you just type the web address on your Safari in your phone, it'll mirror that there. So I'm really excited about the hack. And then the funny thing is Spectrum knew it was a jailbroke phone. So when I go in here to try and watch videos on Spectrum, it knew that this was a jailbroken phone, which I thought was funny. So here, I'll show you real quick. Right there. Does not support jailbroken devices. So you can't do Spectrum. Not a big deal. I've got my YouTube. I've got my Safari. Disney Junior actually worked. So I clicked on Disney Junior and videos played on Disney Junior. The problem, what I was hoping I could do is use the Bluetooth on my iPhone 7 to still make phone calls or whatnot, and then use the iPhone 5 for the Apple CarPlay, but I can't get it to recognize both. So it's not a big deal. In the mornings when I take the kids to the babysitter, I'll be using this, and then in the afternoons, you know, when I need the phone to talk through the Bluetooth, I'll just switch to the iPhone 7 and go through the Bluetooth. I can still do Apple CarPlay on my iPhone 7. I just don't have the jailbroke apps. And I didn't want to jailbreak my iPhone 7. This was working. Again, it's running off the iPhone 5, which is a little slow. Work. Anyways, it will play videos. And that's really about it. So I was able to get Google Maps. A lot of people wanted Waze, YouTube, any app you really wanted. Because I was able to get the NGX Play through Cydia, and I was able to download the Helix app to do that. So it was kind of complicated. To be honest, because I've spent $200 on the module, $74 to $274, for $400 you could have bought an aftermarket radio with Apple CarPlay and a lot less headache. But I really wanted to keep the mylink system. I don't know what you lose by going with an aftermarket radio, so I wanted to keep the mylink system. There's just too many cool features in there, like the ability to use your steering wheel controls to access Siri. Matter of fact, let's see if it'll do it. I'm turning the volume up. I must be hitting the wrong button. So anyways, when it's hooked to Bluetooth, you can access Siri. You know, it's funny. When I was going into my messages, it actually wanted me to do Siri. Let's see if it'll do it. I don't know if it's going to work. I have to edit this part out. Siri? Hello? No, it's not working. There's a glitch there, and I think because the module isn't completely programmed to a Silverado, it's to some other GM vehicle, which is why it's not interfacing, I'm assuming, unless there's some other fix that I'm not aware of. But it will work with Bluetooth. I still can't read messages, whether I'm through Apple CarPlay or I'm through Bluetooth. It will not read my messages, and I'm not sure why. So again, if you have a 2014 or 15 Silverado and you want Apple CarPlay and you want to get apps, you can absolutely do it. I've been able to do it. I've just got a lot more time involved in researching and downloading and jailbreaking a phone than I thought I would have. So I'm hoping this video helps you guys out. If you have any questions, just leave a comment. And that's it.